And he's like, are you part of Critical Banter? And I'm like, well, depends who's asking.
What's it to you?
Yeah, what's it to you? The screenshot I got sent, my brother has his hand in between his legs, and it looks like he's excavating for gold or something.
Welcome back to Critical Banter, the final episode of the year. What a year it has been. To kick us off on this episode, we'll be going through the entire year on year in review, as well as covering some career limiting moves, some moves at the workplace that will stop their progression in the workplace in career limiting moves. But before that, to wrap up the week for the final time for 2022 is me and Miguel. We have Rohit.
G'day.
And we have Seni.
Hello. Quick one to start us off, boys. I had my Christmas party the other day. And it was a good little event, I must say. We had it was like a warehouse, a massive warehouse, and we had 3 levels. And actually, this is aside, I forgot about this part. So if you're on the top level, for example, and you had a beer in your hand, and you're like, oh, my mate is downstairs, I want to go see him, and you wanted to walk downstairs, there were security guards at every stairwell that stopped you and forced you to scull your drink before you went down to the next level. You weren't allowed to walk up and down the stairs with drinks.
Safety, OH&S.
As in, I think grown adults can walk upstairs with a glass in their
That's
hand.
what I thought. No,
suggest.
so the beer is fine, fair enough. We're in glasses, but like the champagne and wine, it was plastic. But even then, you still weren't allowed to
Bit of
walk
spillage,
up and down.
they know people can't walk on the stairs.
I thought it would maybe be because, level 3 is the beer level, level 2 is the wine level.
Well, that's what I thought as well. Maybe
ones
different
that-
drinks on every level, but no, it was.
Storied club,
It's all the same.
different music, different drinks.
Shut up.
It was R&B on the top level. So anyway, so I was at the top of the stairs, and so the guy made me scull my drink. So I finished, and was feeling a bit wavy. I was walking down the stairs, and I got to the landing part. So how it curves around and then keeps going down. And so I'm coming down, and I see this guy staring at me intensely, and I'm like, okay, this is a bit weird. This guy's really eyeing me off here. And then as I get a bit closer, he kind of put his hand towards me, and he's like, "Are you who I think you are?" And I'm like, it's a weird way of starting a sentence. And I'm like, who do you think I am?
Surely 99% of those scenarios, you don't want to be the person they think you are.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so ominous.
And he's like, are you part of Critical Banter? And I'm like, well, depends who's asking.
What's it to you?
Yeah, what's it to you? He's like, mate, it's Shrika.
Oh, Shrika.
I'm your biggest fan.
And he is our biggest fan.
And he is our biggest
He
fan.
100% is. During the
Actually,
dark...
he's not our biggest fan. He's actually just Kush's.
Sorry, he's Kush's biggest fan.
And by products, he's also a fan of the podcast.
Yeah, obviously. But he
Kush
is actually
one.
an OG. He's been there, I reckon, since day dot.
Since the darkest times in lockdown, he was coming in with suggestions, some content.
Exactly. So he's been there, been around for a few years now. And the very first thing he asked, he said hey mate, how are you? And then he's like, first thing he asked me is like, are the other guys here? Shrika, my brother. We're friends, but we don't all work together.
Yeah, we're on a business trip, lad.
And I'm like, no, the others unfortunately work at other places. And yeah, so it turns out he's interning at my company. So he's there until I think Feb.
So you're going to let your boss know that this guy's not going to get the gig? Unfortunately, Shrika's not going to make it past probation.
Unfortunately, he's not in my team, but I said, yeah, if I see you around, we'll go get a coffee and, you can just keep telling me how great I am.
Your boss has yelled at you in the morning,
I need to pick me up. But no, that was lovely to see. And it was, to be honest, I never thought I'd actually, I've seen Shrika commenting on our stuff like you guys say and always messaging the page and whatnot. Never thought I'd actually meet him in person. So that was quite surreal, I will say.
Are we encouraging if you see us on a stairwell? Please.
Absolutely. Why not?
Do we need to give something in return as a thank you? Was there a thank you gift to Shrika?
Is that something we're going to do now? If we see if someone comes up to us, we have to give you something.
Well, like Hamish and Andy, if you see them in
I think I've
person,
heard this.
They'll give you $2,
Yes.
a gold coin.
I saw that. I saw a TikTok of Hamish at some event, red carpet event last week, and one of their fans asked, he asked him to he bowed for some reason.
So
Yeah,
if they
what did
don't
he
have
say?
if they don't have like a dollar on them,
Yeah.
you have to do a bow.
Yeah, he's like, yes. He's like, Hamish, do you have $2? And then Hamish just bowed, and then they laughed about it and then walked off. And I'm like, I don't understand what any of that means.
Reverse subscription model. It's like, we'll pay you to listen to our podcast.
All right, so maybe ask us for money. Actually, no, I don't know.
No, I don't have
Ask
lots
us
of
for a
money.
diary or something.
They'll be happy to give out what, $10, $20 per person?
Absolutely not. I will say it happened again to me today. I was in the shops, and then I went to one shop, and randomly, I needed a new screen protector for my phone. As you can see, it's fucking falling apart. And so the guy was helping me, and then he was like looking into the cupboard, and then as he was looking, he turned around he's like, "You part of Critical Banter?"
The guy,
No, bro.
the guy
And I'm
repairing
like-
the phones?
Yeah, the guy was working at the shop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes. Does this mean I'm going to get a free screen protector?
Surely.
Unfortunately, he didn't have any in stock. But yeah, he's like, yeah, are you part of it? So I'm like,
What's his?
hey.
Is he a listener?
His
big
name
fan?
was Arjun from memory.
Big
So
up you.
apologies if I got your name wrong, but yes, he was a listener as well.
That's huge.
So
That's
you-
huge.
If if you do see us in person, say hello.
Definitely say hello.
We'll give you a little treat. What that is?
That's so ominous, bro.
Bro, we'll give you a little treat in the back alley.
Tickle your balls or something.
That's not what I meant.
Also, speaking of Christmas, if you are a avid follower of our Instagram page, you'll have seen a couple of weeks ago, we put up a story of a little thing we found in a shopping center, and it was basically a vending machine, but in all the rows were mystery boxes. And in those mystery boxes, obviously wrapped in some sort of Christmas design, and it says they're $20. It says $20 each. You could win, and then on a little screen, it's a little slideshow of all the things. Nice whispers.
They'll probably show you the nicest things you
Some
can
bloke
get.
with a box open with an iPhone inside.
Yeah, what dream are they selling you?
Exactly. AirPods. Some guy
AirPods.
putting the AirPods in. One of the photos.
a timeshare.
And then all other things like a whole skincare set, all these like big sets, probably a bit of travel, a bit of this and that. And I'm like, you know me.
$20, mate. This is a great value.
You know me, son. You know my FIFA habits. That
So it's a loot box. It's
It's a loot. It's a real life loot box, and I love myself a loot box.
3 weeks in a row now we've talked about gambling of some sort.
Yeah, true.
If you saw this, would you boys go on?
Nah, 'cause
No.
Those are the bells and whistles being sold to you.
No.
I see that and I'm like, there's absolutely zero chance I'm
Yeah.
going to win anything worth more than $20. This is I'm just sinking money.
I might as well go buy a lottery ticket at that
But the
point.
experience of buying one,
I don't
the
find
novelty.
enjoyment
of
in
it.
it though.
I reckon I'll do it once just to say I bought one and the
Yeah,
intrigue of what could I get. But then after that, yeah, never. You would never get me ever again.
I already have an iPhone. Why do I need another one?
And
you
anyway,
can sell it.
You sell it. $2,000.
You mate, exactly. Tight little 1980 profit there. Woo-hoo.
And my silver lining was I have a Secret Santa. I had a Secret Santa. So I'm like, you know what?
you
If this
go.
is a shocker,
No.
I'm pawning it
Yeah.
off.
I was going to say, if you're pulling a fucking iPhone, you're not giving that to
No.
your-
There's a cap. And if it's below
Okay,
the cap,
Yeah, okay.
pawning it off. Anyway, so I get it. $20. Nice little in the vending machine. I open it. It's a fucking lamp.
Oh,
It was like
That's not too bad.
but it's one of those lamps where it's, how do I describe
You put it
this?
up on the story and I couldn't tell what it was.
I had zero idea what
Yeah.
it was.
It's like a flat surface, and then you put some little like photo here or some little thing here, and the lamp projects onto that. So on the box it says creative visualization lamp. I have found a photo of it here. I'll show it to you. How would you describe this? He's saying it's not a lamp.
It's basically like there's like a round base, and then there's like a
It's like a light up. There's a light up design
it's
basically.
like a light up design. Of
Yeah, so it's like a crystal, and then when you turn it on, I assume the lights go through the crystal.
Yeah, that's it. It's not a proper
I mean,
lamp. It's not lighting up a room.
I would call it a piece of shit, but yeah.
it's not great.
See, you only put the box up. So when I saw that, I'm like, did you get like a reflex, like ream of paper or something, like A4, 300 sheets of paper?
Straight into the printer.
Yeah, I mean, it's an alright gift, but
Anyways, that was that, and
wasted $20.
that's made me
But
think
give us
about.
okay, let's say you put the money in and like you're feeling excited. Like, what's the emotions?
I'm feeling so. As you know, the vending machine has to like get it from the rack. At that moment, I'm thinking, oh my god,
Could be
this
anything.
is it, boys.
Could be the iPad.
This could be the iPad, the iPhone, the fucking trip away. Who knows? And then obviously the drawer opens where you collect your
Oh,
item.
so it doesn't just drop it like a packet of chips.
no.
Could break then, right?
Well, that's what I was thinking. I
It
was
puts
like,
it in a tray. The tray goes down and
Beautiful.
lightly put it in the bottom.
Respectfully give it to you.
Exactly. I open up the tray. I pick it up.
Light.
Seemed a bit light. So I'm like,
when you know.
I'm like, this could not be good. But then I'm
Maybe
also
it's
thinking.
an iPhone SE or
So
something.
that's what I think. iPhones could be light, or little AirPods or little Galaxy Buds, whatever
True.
they could be. They're a bit
You're
light.
still on.
So my next thing was shake. I didn't hear much shaking.
Oh, so it's a big box.
So that's why it's a big box. It's light. It's probably a shocker. I didn't even make it home. I went to the food court of that shopping center to open it. I couldn't wait.
You throw it in the bin straight away.
I don't have it with me, so I don't know where it is.
That's going straight for your mate's Christmas.
Exactly.
Secret
They
Santa.
can enjoy it. They won't know that I've
Do they give you like the probability? Because like when you open a FIFA pack, right, they give you the probability.
It's not
like
Europe where they're legally required to disclose the probability.
Right, so when you play FIFA, right, if
Yeah.
you buy a pack, it tells you have a 1 in 10,000 chance of getting a player over 84 rated or some shit
Right.
like that. So do they...
I think the issue is they don't disclose what it could be. They only disclose the major prizes.
The big ones,
The
yeah.
thing is, like,
So I had
Yeah,
no
'cause if
clue.
they're giving you that on the screen,
an
you're not
option.
fucking buying it.
no, but how many, like, is this, you're saying that those iPhones and the AirPods, whatever, they're all contained in this one vending machine?
I reckon-
There's
No, I'm sure there's
20,000
multiple vending machines and like.
Oh, bro,
No,
then there's
I
like
reckon-
one iPad sitting somewhere.
I reckon they probably.
Obviously.
I reckon
That's a
legally
stitch
they
up.
must have at least one. I reckon per vending machine. But it's
Nah,
like
dude.
no, but they probably keep filling it so the other ones keep coming at the front, so you never actually reach.
No, one per vending machine seems outrageous. Like,
Because there were like probably
How many boxes?
8.
How many
like,
rows?
So 8 rows and like 4 columns.
32, and there's probably, let's say, how deep? Maybe 10 deep. That's
No,
320.
no way.
like
bro, it's
3 or 4
3D.
deep.
All right, so 60 odd, $20. It's not bad.
you're not
picking
getting
up-
you're not getting.
Yeah,
iPhone's
yeah.
not there,
I'm
like-
thinking
drop
now that I'm doing the
rate-
maths. Yeah, there's probably not a iPhone in there. You're right.
There's
it's
2 vending
probably-
machines next to each other, if that means anything.
So like, I'm pretty sure legally, because this basically is like a lottery, right? I'm
It is.
pretty sure you
There's
need
no
to-
basically about it.
For example, you play the Macca's competition where you scratch to win and you might win
Yeah.
a car, blah blah blah. They always have how many of the prizes there are in terms of conditions.
Yeah.
If I saw this vending machine, I would have had a look,
Do your due diligence.
have a bit of a read to see
The terms and conditions.
how likely, because it's actually pretty interesting to read. It'll be like, there's one car valued at this
That
much.
ruins the magic of the
How
box,
much time
man.
did you have in your hand just
I had 1 minute, mate. I saw it. I'm like, this is a cool idea. I'm going to buy it.
Must be nice to have just $20 just to spend on frivolous items like that. Wowee.
Surely, I reckon, yeah, I was going to say like $20, you buy maybe 5 of them. And then just hope that the collective value of the things you
Well,
get
when you buy
is more
lottery,
than
you buy
100.
like 100 lottery tickets.
No, but that's different though, because this, for everything you buy, you're getting something of value back. With the lottery ticket, there's no guarantee you're getting anything back.
Yeah,
from
but
one.
you're getting a fucking lamb that's worth $2.
Well, you just need one good item and you already beat the $100
I
that
don't
you
think
put
you're
in.
in 5. Like, I actually saw a TikTok today of these guys who rigged the lottery. So they were part of a lottery. It was called like the Queen of Hearts lottery. So basically what you do is there's a $15,000 jackpot. They pick out a ticket, and then if your ticket is called, you go to like this pack of playing cards and flip over one card. And if you flip over the Queen of Hearts, you get the $15,000 jackpot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So these guys bought $6,000 worth of tickets.
Oh my God.
And then they kept just drawing out these guys' names, like this group of 5 of them, and they were just turning over the cards. And eventually, they got the $15,000 jackpot.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe you could do something like similar to that. Get a couple of boys around, move it around, and then bring the prize home.
I think that's
It's a horrible
It's
idea.
a horrible idea. It's a costly idea with no guarantees.
Well, if you read the terms and conditions, you'll understand how many prizes there are.
after
Okay, because if there is value there, I'm happy to jump on board. Put a little bit
But
of
that's
coin
different
in
because
there.
that was $15,000. Here, the most valuable thing is the iPhone, which is still like $2,000. You probably need to put in $2,000 to get out the fucking iPhone.
Well,
so.
we don't know until we do the math, and that's the fun for me. That's where the excitement.
Oh, you
builds.
enjoy math now, do you?
All right, stick around for the outro. We'll be doing math.
New podcast segment. We call it Career Limiting Moves, or CLM,
CLMs.
as it is affectionately known. So, what is a CLM? You may ask. Basically, what it is people who make or do things at work that essentially is now going to stunt them forever. It's a reputation that they've got. They'll never recover. They may as well move to a different place because there's no progression in this particular firm. So, as you know, Christmas season has been here, and some people did have Christmas parties. So it was actually an interesting thing because I went to the pub on Friday, and it was not my Christmas party, but there was other companies having their Christmas parties at this particular place. And so we're minding our own business, having a good time, all that sort of gear. I'm going to the bathroom. I see 2 young gentlemen pull out a nice little bag of some white powder
Oh.
in the bathroom, and then pull out a key. And for some reason, they were just seeing what it smelt like. I don't know why they were doing this. It was an interesting thing. I've never seen it before. And in comes another bigger gentleman. He walks in and he looks at the 2 young men, and he's like, "We're going to be having a chat on Monday."
Oh, shit.
And the boys freak out.
Yeah.
This guy takes a piss. Pretty big alpha energy from this man. just says that one word, takes a piss, walks out. Then I hear the 2 boys, they're just talking like, "What do we do? Oh my God, what's happening here?" And I had a couple of beers, so I was feeling a bit jovial.
It's jovial.
I was in the mood for a chat, so I was like, boys, like, who was that? And they're like, he was our CEO.
Oh, not even a manager.
Not even their boss. I was like, I just assumed it was their boss. He's like, nah, this is the CEO. And they were freaking out.
What would you say was the type of what sort of company would you say? Think this is? No, are they?
I can tell you what it was because I decided to have a conversation.
Oh, here we go.
After this, I was like, so boys, what do we do here? Like,
What do we do here?
he's like, we're a fintech startup. There's like 50, 60 people in the organization, blah, blah, blah. And then
Are you networking right now, essentially?
I was networking while these guys were having the worst day of their lives.
There could be two new people looking for jobs right in front of him, bro.
I asked them what they did. One was a software engineer. I mean, what they used to do, I should say. One worked in like legal or something like that. But this, dare I say, the biggest, it's not even career limiting. It's
career ending. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jesus. So,
Dare I suggest a fintech CEO I feel like would be amongst it?
nah,
Or
bro.
am I-
You can't be turning a blind eye to that kind of behavior.
First of all, my question is why are they not smelling the salts in the bathroom?
Yeah,
or
wait,
the
So you tell me they did it
cubicle?
out in the open?
They were out in the
As in like where you wash
sink
your hands,
or whatever.
the sink,
The
yeah.
Amateur hour. What
Cubicle. I've heard.
Yeah, so they
Allegedly.
say. But yeah, this guy and at your work Christmas party.
That's so
nonetheless.
dumb.
I feel like that's
dumb.
common though.
Is it?
Oh,
Or maybe it is common, but it's like
It's unknown. It's
You
unseen.
should do it more covertly.
Exactly.
This sounds like this is their first time or whatever.
You got too excited. One of them's like, "Oh fuck, I can get my hands on some."
gone. Anyway, CEO, it was. He didn't even. He just looked at him.
Was he disappointed?
No, it was just like we're having a chat on Monday. Bang, pissed, done. And apparently,
Were these guys young?
yeah, like our age-ish.
So replaceable is what we're saying.
Absolutely,
Very
mate.
expensive.
They're not.
Did you get their names by any chance? Check their LinkedIn now.
No, I was
Looking for work.
Why are you looking to jump onto this company now? Saying there's 2 open gigs.
I can learn software engineering, Connor.
That is my career. I've one more, which was happened actually when I worked at my previous company. I was doing sales, and I was in charge of hiring or mentoring one of the new hires that came through, who was also an aspiring salesperson. She, on our first day, this is when COVID happened, so we were all working remotely. And on her first day, we're in the meeting with everyone. We're introducing, and she's taken a big old drag of the vape on the meeting and just starts blowing rings. And I'm sitting there like, I actually cannot believe what I'm seeing right now.
The audacity of what you're seeing.
Unbelievable. Anyway, I had a pretty good, I was pretty close to my manager. We were pretty close. And so we were a meeting afterwards. And I was like, oh, so what do you think of, this girl? Like, how did she go? And it was just, mate, she was pissed off. But I'm like, it's bad, but
So unprofessional.
it's a tech
You
company.
gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Man, you can hit your vape at any other time. Why do you have to do it then?
Nick addiction doesn't wait for anyone.
it was a half an hour meeting as well. So like, that's how strong the cravings were. It's an addiction, right? We got to treat it as such.
Was it just one hit of the vape or was it multiple?
It was multiple hits, but the first one was the ring blowing. The vape was not even being used like normally. It was like a flex. Like she's literally doing magic tricks or something. Like
Yeah.
why?
Might just be like muscle memory at this point for her.
Maybe. Hey,
Does it look like she's done it before? Like,
yeah, mate. She's obviously a seasoned
vet.
smoker. That's for sure.
No, as in during meetings though. Like, you reckon that's not the first? She's probably done it a few times, got away with it. It's like, oh.
No, that was her first meeting. This was like, we're introducing you.
No, as in like previously, like another job. or whatever.
Maybe it was more socially acceptable at that place.
Yeah.
But I'm just sitting here like in disbelief. My manager, had a nice little talking to her, but 6 months later,
gone.
She limited her career.
absolutely.
Fuck. I've got one as well. This one I got sent a screenshot of, so take it as you will. Might be doctored, who knows? But so we had interns start recently, and so
Is it Streaker by any chance?
this is not Shrika, unfortunately. This is from another division in my company, and so they had like their first intro, orientation day, and it was all online on Zoom. So everyone was at home dialing in, and it's like the classic, just getting intro to the company. Couple of like ground rules, blah blah blah, whatever.
Is this a cameras off type situation or?
This is cameras on. Cameras on. Everyone. You get to know your other interns and get to know the
Put
managers
faces
and
to
whatnot.
names,
Exactly.
faces to voices.
And so in the screenshot I got sent, it's a big Zoom call as well. I reckon maybe 40 odd people.
Yep.
And so you can see all the tiles, you can see all the cameras, everyone looking, dressed up very nicely. You got, first day, so you got everyone's,
Yes.
in their own home wearing fucking full suits. Bit much, but you
got to do it first day. You got to do
professional.
it.
You got to look professional. So everyone's, very looking, intently, like listening, and then right in the middle, in about the third or fourth row, if you look, 2 from the right, there's a bloke. He's there. He's sitting. He's listening. Definitely listening, but he's sat, and he's sitting not in his room. He's sitting in an area where you probably shouldn't have your camera on. And so all you can see is basically, you can't see his head actually. You can just see from his neck down. And he's sitting majestically on his toilet.
On the throne.
On the throne. And it must be mid shit because the screenshot I got sent, my brother has his hand in between his legs, and it looks like he's excavating for gold or something because he's gone past his balls, probably near the gooch into his ass area, and he's probably given a few good wipes on a Zoom call. And I reckon there was actually one girl you can actually see. She kind of she's doing one of these, like what the fuck am I watching right now?
It's like a Nelk prank. Like, you know what I mean?
It is. It literally is. So yeah,
His
this
pants
guy,
are like around his.
his pants are around his ankles, knees exposed.
It could have been worse though. Like,
Could it? How much worse? Unless he flashed
no, like
the crown jewels to
isn't
everyone.
yeah, he probably did flash the crown jewels, but the screenshot that was taken was just in the position mid-wipe.
Yeah, but that's the screenshot we have.
Yeah. But like, I take dumps naked, mate. I'm a everything goes kind of thing. He's lucky he hasn't done that.
That's true.
And he's snapped himself.
My thing is he joined the call, and then maybe halfway through he's like, oh shit, I need to take a shit. I can't
nature's
leave.
calling.
So let me just turn my camera off, put it down on the toilet, and then I'll have a go. Unfortunately, he must have not turned the camera off.
Do you think it's a laptop that's sitting on the ground?
It's a laptop.
It's a laptop. It's a laptop. It has to be a laptop.
It's 100% a laptop.
Oh, okay.
If it's a phone, I think he's holding the phone.
Yeah, you're not putting. Where are you putting your phone down?
Yeah, it was a weird angle. You're right. It was a like a upward shot into between the legs, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, it was from a low angle up into his gooch, as Romano said. But so surreal on your first day as an intern as
How
well.
do you come back from that?
You can't. You literally can't.
My favorite part of this is whenever Sen tells a story, he always questions, why is he cupping his balls?
Dude,
That's
he was
Sen's focus.
Bro, that was the first question I asked. Why is he cupping his balls like that?
You're analyzing his technique?
Yeah.
the wiping technique.
But I've never
That's just bad
once.
luck.
It's so accidental as well.
You know, like, but why is he taking? Why don't you just leave the laptop?
You do that, Rose. Sometimes you call me from the bathroom.
Yeah,
You've
but
done
I'm
it before.
calling you. I'm not calling my boss.
That's true.
Like, leave your laptop, pull your AirPods in, turn the camera off, and just go do your business. Why are you bringing it there that you need to see? There's even a presentation going on at the time?
Just leave the call is what I would have done.
No, I've done this once. That was me actually. No. I've done this once, but my laptop has a thing where you physically,
It has
it has a little button where you
the blind.
physically, so whether I'm on or off on the fucking meeting, the camera's
a little
off.
slider goes across and it just physically
Put a
covers
sticky note or something, bro.
yeah.
Do something so you're guaranteed your cock and balls aren't on display for the
Or
partners.
worst comes worst, just turn the laptop the other way. Like you don't need to be
angle it
seeing
so
the
like-
screen.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm so paranoid as well. Like with cameras off,
Oh yeah.
like everything.
That's why I've only done it once
I don't-
because I got fucking shit scared.
I don't have the little thing, but I'll literally like get my towel and literally just drape it across the laptop.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I'm like, there's no evidence, nothing.
So yeah, massive career limiting move from this gentleman.
Tis the season for clean balls. Fa la 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 la. Our friends at Manscaped are helping you clear your driveway for safe travels this holiday season. From stocking stuffers to gift exchanges, Manscaped's products are at the top of every wish list. Grab some crop mops for your pops or the shampoo for your boo. Be the star of gifting season and help all the men in your life go from eggnog to nice hog this December. Manscaped is a one-stop shop for all your holiday needs. They have the perfect gift in the Platinum Package 4.0, plus loads of little presents perfect for stocking stuffers. We've actually heard from one of the listeners, Matthew. Big up you, Matthew. You've gone away. Christmas season's coming up, and you've bought yourself a Platinum Package 4.0.
I'm actually going to read out what he sent to us. He teased out Gooch first during the week. He's like, should be getting a Manscaped sale in the near future. The combined hours worth of you boys whispering sweet nothings in my ears has convinced me. That's what we want to hear, Matty. And then he sent us a screenshot of the purchase. said he got $40 off and free shipping.
Wow.
Mate.
$40. You can do so much with $40. That's unreal.
Very unreal.
Anyways, if you want to be like Matthew, go on manscaped.com, use the code TCB to get that 20% off and free shipping. That again is 20% off and free shipping with the code TCB at manscaped.com for a perfect gift that'll be the holiday's biggest hit.
This will be our last show for 2022, and here we are doing the year in review. So we're going to go through all the different months and rank them from 12th to 1st. But the scale, we didn't want to do good and bad. We're like, you know what, let's do most memorable, because a lot of bad things happened this year, and we fear we'll be cancelled if
But
we
those months are iconic though. And yes, we don't want to get cancelled.
the main thing. So most memorable months, we'll be chatting about what has happened from 12 to 1. And in number 12, we have February in last place as the least memorable month of the year.
What happened in February? That's $1 million question.
Well, exactly. Like I'll read you through a couple of things, right? The Winter Olympics happened in February. Did you catch that?
When we were deciding this list, you said didn't even know when it happened.
You could, gun to my head, I couldn't name you one person who was at the Winter Olympics this year.
But we did have the Super Bowl, which was the halftime show was big this year. We had all these massive performers, Eminem, Dr. Dre.
That was pretty cool.
That was iconic, but when it happened, I didn't care for it.
See, that's my problem with the Super Bowl.
It was the Boomer Super Bowl.
Everyone's like, "Oh, did you see the Super Bowl?" And you're like, "Oh, the game was good." No, not the game. The halftime show. Like when the highlight of the game is the fucking entertainment in the middle.
Yeah, not much going on.
Those Boomer artists weren't very appealing to me.
Tom Brady retired in February.
That was actually big news. The GOAT went down.
The problem is he unretired a month later.
So it just softens it. Like, who cares?
No one cares. And that's why February is definitely the least memorable month.
Do we need to
of the
give
year.
February some sort of leeway here? They do have 3 less days than the other months.
True.
Something could have happened in those, Feb 31st. You never know.
Yeah, but they also have Valentine's Day, and my bank account took a hit.
Yeah, you know,
so
fair enough.
Drained, yeah, didn't
Straight
know.
at the
Well,
bottom.
everyone here's bank account took a hit. So you know what? Bottom.
Dead last. We moved to August, sitting in 11th place. We've got a couple of things that happened, right? The Don't Worry Darling controversy. That was big on TikTok for a little bit. We had Skeet breaks up with Kim, or the other way around. Who knows? I don't care for it. Andrew Tate gets banned off social media.
Top G.
Freedom of speech was undermined in August.
And then I think you boys did the City to Serve.
We
In
attempted the
August.
city to serve.
That is why this month is last. We attempted was the key word.
Oh, you did finish it though.
Did finish it. Doesn't matter about the time, but we finished it.
We set out a time row and we just missed the time. That's why it's a bit
Oh, okay. So you didn't.
we were pushing towards the end. We got the medals. We got the time. Like no. But then we tried to be like but sir, we're at the back of the pack.
Yeah, plenty of
There's so much.
excuses.
So it's a fun run, It's not a competitive run, but yeah, I think also the whole "Don't Worry, Darling" thing. I actually didn't realize what the fuck was happening until September, the month after.
What was that?
It was the whole how they had Shia LaBeouf was originally meant to be in the movie, and then he was just being a weirdo.
Man, I'm falling asleep already.
Exactly. So I didn't really care for
And then
it.
there was some Harry Styles.
Some Harry Styles
spat on
came
some
in and
bloke,
he
a
spat on
parody.
someone
it's just
else.
stitch
Oh, I
up.
heard that on the
Yeah.
radio one time. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is this?
Not
getting
much happening in
airtime?
August as well.
Not really. Like, there's not. I mean, like, to be
Personally,
fair,
did anything? I can't even remember. Just dead month for me, apart from the City to
Andrew
Serve.
Tate getting banned was pretty big, though. To be fair,
In what regard? You a big fan?
no, I'm just saying it was a big event.
His top G was
I'm not an Andrew Tate fan.
Bro's actually wearing a Hustlers University t-shirt right now.
On my LinkedIn, I graduated.
We've clicked his affiliate link. Under education, Hustlers University.
Got a master's.
No, but that I feel like that was probably the biggest news. But on this podcast, we're an anti-Andrew Tate
No, obviously.
podcast, so unfortunately, does not make the cut. Number 10, we have June. This was it was slightly more memorable than the other two.
Only because of the stuff that happened in our lives, I reckon.
If you remember back in the podcast, we had Manu's 25th, which had a saga attached to it for weeks. Darren
pretty much the
suggests.
whole month of June was dominated
It was a
by
saga.
by this saga. So a bit of a recap. You had your 21st, Manu. And from
21st.
the...
No,
Sorry.
21st.
Sorry,
Thank you.
apologies.
Earlier.
Thank you.
I thought this was a podcast from 2018. The 25th. And from the get-go, we just had beef with the bar manager, not even the owner, the manager.
Yeah. Cake wasn't allowed. Drinks were slow. Food was stinky.
Didn't have a bartender.
Blamed us for things that may or may not have been our fault.
That one I'll...
Threatened legal action over something that's silly.
Doxed you.
Threatened legal action on the back of a Google review.
Exactly.
And then posted Miguel's number.
My govy and my number.
Your number
on public forums.
On Google. I think
posted my photo of my license.
True.
On Google. And Google, as we all know, the most popular site in the world. Dare I suggest.
So that was fun.
That whole faux legal battle.
And then, mate, I'm looking through what happened in June. And
pop culture-wise...
grasping at straws,
nothing.
right? Vivid happened at June. Anyone go?
Well, mine did.
Went.
Yeah. Hated it.
Yeah.
It
took until our last seconds of creating this ranking that I remembered Vivid Sydney.
Correct.
Not memorable.
Absolutely not. And then we had Louis Theroux. I mean, I guess this was slightly memorable.
I feel like that's a redeeming...
No.
The redeeming thing, but how much does it redeem?
It is
none at
my
all.
money, don't jiggle jiggle. That pop culture reference, like that was entertaining, I suppose. But not rating it.
Your missus' birthday?
My missus' birthday, which was also, that was part of your 25th. It was a joint birthday, which is why it's so
Wanted to
low.
sneak that
It's
one in.
not memorable at all for us.
Just wanted to sneak that in.
But then, don't forget about your paint and sip little double date that you guys went on.
Thank you.
Let's pop that on there. Number 9, we have April.
Wow. April Fools. Is that why?
No?
Is that a big holiday for you?
Didn't even
Should we
put
put
that
that in
down.
our holiday ranking?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's definitely above International Women's Day. Let's make that clear, Miguel. Check that out. Last episode. In April, there's 2 things that happened.
Good Friday and Easter Monday.
That was beautiful days, I must admit. I mean, actually, to be fair, that's kind of a big deal.
That was
you get a
The
lot of
death
public
and the
holidays.
rise of the Lord.
Yeah, and yes, of course. But I was talking about for you heathens, just the days off potentially. You can make the most of it.
Heathens.
But Elon Musk's had started to want to buy Twitter. He posted, he's like, I want to buy Twitter. Those little rumblings started.
Is that that's probably one of the most alpha things I've ever seen. Like, you just start tweeting, I want to buy your company on the very platform that you're using. Just because you're slightly annoyed by a few things that have happened against you.
So why did he want to buy Twitter in the beginning?
It's because they ban like people for like no reason, a lot of like censorship, just a whole lot of that. He's part of the whole free speech brigade. So he's like, I'm going to buy you, and I'm going to make everything free again.
But then,
Yet if you go on Twitter now and slander him, you're banned.
it's all right.
It's a dictatorship, basically.
So we went to the F1 in
That was
Melbourne.
good fun.
For the first time.
Very good fun.
It was so good we decided we're doing it again.
Running it back.
Although to be fair, the F1 was fun and prices were reasonable. This year, in
It's
2023, it is outrageous.
It's inflation, mano.
That's a big caveat of the year. Inflationary pressures.
Sen went to Melbourne like a couple months ago, or weeks ago. I don't know, when was it?
Weeks ago.
Weeks ago. And we looked at the hotel prices. It was like $200 a night, standard. That same hotel on the weekend of the F1 in 2023, $800 a night.
Mate, that's class.
I thought it was close to like 1,000.
Nah,
That's what you
800
call-
is close to
that's what you
1,000.
call-
Yeah, fair enough.
That's what you call supply and demand, my friends.
Dude,
Basic economic pressures have driven the prices up.
Sen and I will
that's class.
We'll be driving to Melbourne.
I'm sleeping in Rose's car for that
It'll
weekend.
be a 10-hour drive to Melbourne.
Drive's nice, to be fair.
Drive is nice.
Just got to dedicate a whole day to it.
Yeah, but it's better.
We're
than
going to
paying
drive
a
through the
flight.
night.
Are we?
Yeah, why not? Mate, burning the midnight oil.
All right, or whatever. But that's why. Yeah, that's in 2023, so maybe that'll be up there. But 2022, we had a great time.
I had a great time.
All our friends were there as well. Like we just bumped into heaps of people. It was delightful.
It's not that April was bad. It's just the months above it, ahead of it, were just that much better.
And we moved to December. In the 8th position, what happened here? Recent. Australia makes the round of 16.
Oh, patriotism,
time in how long?
nationalism, pride of my country for the first time in a long time.
We were there in Tumbalong Park,
Absolutely.
cheering the boys on, depressed that they're losing most of the time. But we were there.
It's all right.
Memorable experience, as we said, memorable
Flares
moments.
being thrown around. Like,
Oh, speaking of flares, in December, I don't know if you've seen in the A-League,
Oh,
mate, the highs and lows of Australian football.
We're coming off the highs of, we performed well in the World Cup.
Arguably one of our greatest performances in the World Cup.
The nation's getting around football now. And then what happened, Senny?
And then we had in the A-League, they recently came out with a decision to say that the next 3 grand finals, regardless of who is in it, is going to be held in Sydney.
Disgraceful.
Very controversial.
Of course. The grand final should, how it was before was what? The grand final was held
by the highest ranked team that made the final.
Place, yeah. So
and even the Sydney clubs, their fans were against it. So that's when it's a bad decision. So they all the clubs said that in the 20th minute they'll do a walkout. So which is I don't fully agree with. You've already paid money to go. They've won. They've taken your money.
It looks bad on TV.
It looks bad on TV when they all walk
on
out.
television.
And so what happened in the Melbourne victory game was they threw a flare onto the pitch, and then I don't want to blame the keeper here, but then he picked it up, he threw it back, he picked it back into the crowd, and which is fine, whatever. It should have stopped there. And then those idiots, the victory fans, took that as a oh fuck, he's trying to G us up. So they all ran onto the pitch, and dude, someone had a bin and they threw it.
Yeah, the keeper and the ref were standing together. Apparently, it was a flare bucket.
Oh, I thought everyone was saying it was a bin, because there was a lot of ash. So anyway, so yeah, the keeper got whacked across the head with the bin. He's bleeding from his head, and there's a couple hundred fans have entered the pitch. They had to suspend the game. The keeper went to hospital, probably on life support now, for all we know. But
the issue is with the fans that invaded the field, think they're the big dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
They're who's it to you? You've ruined the sport, mate. You've
set it back a bit.
That's what. Yeah, our A-League is the thing I was reading this morning.
It was big on our soccer, to be fair, as well.
It made the front page of
That's
our
what
soccer.
everyone was saying. It's set Australian football back years, blah, blah, blah.
It's a bad look.
Not a good look. Not a good look. But in December, we also had the Wrapped. So we have Spotify Wrapped,
I'm an Apple Music man.
Reddit Wraps,
Reddit raps.
There were too many raps.
Be Real Wraps, Beam
Does
It Wraps. Mate,
Beam it raps.
I mean, there was one last year. I haven't got mine this year.
Yeah,
but I'm sure there will be.
I got a sports bet wrapped for last year. That's
is
grim.
so depressing.
That's grim.
Came with a hotline.
But we have.
Came with the news, bro.
Does Apple Music not have a Wrapped?
They did not have a wrapped.
That's a shame. They're not getting around it. Maybe they want to be part of the mainstream movement.
Exactly. Now it's too many raps, bro. So it's cool to not have a rap these days.
Avatar came out.
I won't be watching it.
Why?
Iconic film, no? Part 2 of an iconic film.
Look, if this was 2013, I would absolutely get around and watch. Well, it came out 11 years ago.
Not even
Who
in
cares?
not even 3D.
No, we'll not be
That's
watching
a
it.
shame.
Kush gave it a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, not bad.
Speaking of his birthday, December as well.
Oh, don't forget about that. Yeah, that's absolutely
Another big
biggest
birthday.
Birthday of the year.
JC.
Oh,
Don't forget
not
about
as big as-
Christmas.
Could never forget about him.
not as big as Kush's butt.
Of course not.
Oh, you're allowed to say that.
No.
Yeah, that's blasphemous from you, isn't it?
Just kidding. Obviously, you know, JC.
JK.
That's why December sits in its 8th place. We then move on to July. In 7th place.
Starting to heat up in July, I must say.
Now,
Bit
mate,
happening.
Again, more Australian pride. Kyrgios makes it to the Wimbledon final.
That
was huge.
That's huge.
Now, Australia made it to the round of 16. Good. But it's not the Wimbledon final.
Okay, let's take a back step. Australia making the round of 16 is massive.
But it's not the final.
In context, it is.
In
But,
context.
Face value, final.
Mate, 16 other teams made it to the round of 16. You know what I mean?
Taking 15, actually.
Final round of 2.
Correct. That was up there. We've got the Sea Eagles refusing to wear the rainbow jersey. Local story in the NRL.
Huge story, though.
Please enlighten us. Why was it so big?
Well, the thing, it shouldn't have been so big, but there was a pride round in July that a lot of NRL teams came out with different pride jerseys, some rainbows and whatnot. And the Manly Sea Eagles, who these guys play for, their normal jersey is brown and they have white stripes. Literally 2 of their stripes on their jersey was just going to be rainbow colored. That's it. That's the only thing. That's the only difference they were going to make for the jersey. And 7 of their players, Polynesian descent. So devout
Why
Christians.
is that important?
Devout
Okay.
Christians. Didn't let me finish there.
Just Polynesian descent. Just
Bit of spit came out of his
Why
mouth.
are you so angry about
I was
that?
not angry. They all came out and said that they wouldn't wear it. And without them, they would have had barely enough players to have a team. So they all got stood down. So they had to play 17-year-olds who lived across the street from this home stadium. So that was massive news.
Big news in the world, but then also personal life. Mate, we went to pub golf in July.
Oh, wow. We ran it back.
We did run it back.
Locally.
We went around our area. It was
which
beautiful.
allowed Ray to run home afterwards. Let's just not forget that.
You'd forget that.
me going through like bulldozing people out of Holy Moly to run home.
I've never seen a man just decide that his night was done so clearly like that.
What do you mean? Like, I was just like, I don't want to be here. And 15 minutes run away, so we go.
He was just so aggressive, push people. You're right, he did, and just ran.
Some people weren't done.
Yeah,
some people were wrapping up, and some just bolts out the front door.
Just had to get away from his demons.
You got to do what you got to do.
But memorable.
Very memorable.
Memorable.
Now, this is a personal thing, all right? But in July,
I want to hear this.
I discovered that you can, like at least, okay, I had already moved out by this point. So I was low on the cash and I didn't want to spend money on eating out all the time. But there was a hack that I found. It's not really a hack, but KFC do this thing where if you fill out a survey, you get a free chips and drink with your next purchase. So I've gone to KFC. I've taken a screenshot of the survey that I filled out once. I'm just showing them the survey, get a zinger burger, free chips and drink. $5 meals instead of paying the usual $15. And that is why July was an unbelievably memorable moment.
Can you still do it now? Does it still work?
Yeah, you can do it. And you don't even have to cheat. You can literally just save the receipt, but I don't bother doing that. Just have a screenshot, get $6 KFC. And that
Free chips and a drink.
Has made his list for July. That's how little happened in July.
it was huge.
That's an indictment to the months below.
Yeah. Got beaten by free chips and a drink.
We then moved to November in number 6,
Oh, class month.
May this might be recency bias, but yeah, class month, like you said, Manu.
the World Cup
Wow.
has started.
Once every 4 years. Class.
Brings the
4
whole
games a
world
night.
together.
That
Not much sleep was happening.
sleep deprivation was happening. Well, I've gone psycho because of that.
We said we have a friend who watched every single game of the World Cup.
I was skeptical when I saw it on her stories that she was watching every single game. And I asked her, but she was being dead serious. She's watched every single game of the World Cup.
And that's not a big deal if you're living in Qatar. But in Australia,
If she was living in Qatar, she wouldn't be allowed to watch.
that is true.
Is it?
No, it's absolutely not. It's just funny.
9 p.m. games.
Yes.
That's the first time slot. Then we have what? 2 a.m. games.
Midnight.
Midnight.
At the start of the comp, it was 9, then midnight, then 3,
Then 6.
then 6. There was a pattern there, bro. It was every 3 hours, and you somehow...
He was not good at maths. He couldn't identify the pattern
Again, like I said, I watched a handful of games of the World Cup.
that were convenient to you.
Those were the ones at 9 p.m.
The 9 p.m. one.
Occasional at 12 p.m.
Yeah, treat yourself sometimes.
And then after those 4, the games were 2 and 6.
Yeah.
So even harder.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're not powered to her. She watched all the games.
She's watched all of them. Obviously massive. Migs, you've got Ronaldo interview with Piers Morgan.
That's a personal one for
That's
you,
a
I guess.
personal. That was heartbreaking. You know, I've experienced heartbreak before, but this was
Something
This is something else. The man I idolized growing up as a kid, playing for my childhood club again, and he's gone in and just disrespected the club. Clearly wants all this.
Nah,
That is
that's
why.
not how I saw it. I saw
That's
the
why-
club disrespected him.
That is why I'm glad Lionel Messi won the World Cup because he is my goat now.
No, look, I'm on the Ronaldo bandwagon. You know, he's bigger than the club. He's a legend. He made Man United what they are today.
That's why.
So how they, who is Ten Hag to treat him like that?
That's why currently he plays for Al Saad in Saudi Arabia.
Currently, he's unemployed right now, isn't he? Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course. That's why he plays in Saudi Arabia.
Let's not forget, one of my favorite artists, Takeoff, passed away.
Rest in
sadly.
peace.
Can you name me maybe your 5? Just give me your top 5 takeoff songs.
I'll give you a top 2. Give me a top 2.
No, maybe
takeoff
yeah,
songs.
it's your top 3.
Just give me one takeoff song.
3 to 1. All right, give me a number 3. Number 3.
And at number
favorite
5, we move on to... No, look, all right. I'll be honest. I don't know many Takeoff songs, but a man died, and that was memorable to me nonetheless. Commiserations to his pals, Offset,
And
and the other one that no one
Come
knows.
on, bro.
Oh, is it
the one that everyone knows.
Who cares?
Quavo.
Quavo, yes, that guy. Obviously, morning, massive month. September sits as the 5th most memorable month.
3 big. We've noted down 3 very big memorable moments.
And I want to start with the biggest of them all. Sen loses all his data and gets breached by Optus.
Sen gets mildly inconvenienced by his data breach.
I had to change a few of my passwords, all right? It was massive
what happened,
inconvenience.
Sen? What happened?
So Optus, I think Australia's second biggest telco, comes out with a statement saying they've lost, I think, 5 million Australian customers worth of data, including their names, address, date of birth, passport numbers, driver's license numbers, email, literally any kind of data you might have, they've got. And that was massive. And the thing is, it came out that it wasn't even a hack. It was just
the door was open.
The door was
and
open.
Someone walked through the door.
And they walked in. And so that's why it made me very happy when I heard that, because we know a friend who
I was going to say this.
we have a friend who works at Optus, and he told us that for this year, all Optus staff didn't have a Christmas party this year as a punishment. And you know what? Good.
I did not know that.
I hope they all get coal in their stockings this year.
I thought I've never,
And actually, I'm going to dox our friend even more. He actually worked in the cybersecurity team for a bit this year. He did.
It's his fault.
It's his fault. It's his fault.
Oh, mate.
I'm praying for their downfall.
So I thought I escaped. I've never had Optus as my telco. So then I had your friends at Vodafone, my favorite people in the world. But then I realized I worked for them.
Oh, does that include as well?
A brief stint. And I get the message, I get the email, and I get the letter saying that I had to have lost all my data.
No way. So there's even people who work there.
So I too am glad that our friend does not have a Christmas party.
Yeah, fuck him. But what else happened in September, Ro?
Why do we? That really is all we need.
That should have been enough.
But again, another moment of silence for Queen Lizzie as she passes away.
Big up to Lizzie.
Now that, of course, we know Google in review that tells us it's like in the top 3 most searched.
Dare I say, probably the biggest event of 2022, maybe.
David Beckham stood in line.
Global.
David Beckham stood in line for half a day.
Bro, I got a fucking news notification, a push notification on my phone at 3 a.m.
Not even a banner, just
saying David Beckham is lining up with millions of mourners. I don't give a fuck. Why are you sending me the fucking... And firstly, why were those people lining up to go see a dead body, bro?
to pay their respects to the monarch.
Go to Rookwood Cemetery, bro. On any given day, you can go see probably 20 odd dead bodies there. Just making sure she's gone.
Wasn't the story that he waited in line, he was using his celebrity status.
He waited in line like a common man.
Good. Then there was other celebrities like, I don't know, like whoever, some random presenters, like their today Carl Stefanovic equivalents.
They skipped the queue.
Went to the front, and everyone's like, oh, why can't you be more like Dave?
Is that a bit of virtue signaling from Dave?
A bloke that's trying to get an OBE.
Yeah, literally, everyone's like, yeah, he's just trying to get a knighthood here.
It's been well known he's been trying to get a knighthood for years.
Oh, he hasn't got one yet.
Well, maybe
he's next. He should be next to him.
No, not after you've accepted the Qatar money. Have you seen him? Like, he's like the big global ambassador for the Qatar World Cup, and there's like this really cringe video they put out of him like literally sitting in the middle of the desert, like with these Arab blokes. Like, everyone who knows me knows I love the desert or some shit.
Oh, I've seen that video. I've seen that.
Shut up, David.
Fair enough. Well, we move on to a lot of cheating happened in September, unfortunately. We had Adam Levine texting like
Cringe.
a 15-year-old. We had Ned Fulmer of the Try Guys cheating on his
was a
wife.
big one.
Things are still coming out to this day about that.
Oh, really?
Is there more?
Like more, just like stupid. Like people have too much time on their hands. They're going back tracking and they're saying,
right.
this video, like they were together. And then if you actually look at these, I don't know, Instagram posts or these tweets, you can figure out that they were actually cheating together at that time, like those sort of things.
But at the time when this came out, at first, like it was for the timeline, right? Adam Levine came out as cheating on his, Victoria's Secret wife, is it maybe?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm just going to say partner includes all potential.
I love that
risks.
from you.
And that was big. We jumped on that straight away, of course. And then we see Ned Fulmer, the man who made his life's mission as the person who is in a relationship.
The wife guy.
The wife guy. He comes out. A massive story. That's why
Tragic.
September is in number 5. We're moving to the big leagues now.
Top 4 Champions League spots.
Top 4. October sits in with plenty of memorable moments.
A lot happening in October.
Number 1, Kanye West becomes a racist.
I mean, I don't think he became a racist.
Yeah,
He
might
just
have.
figured out that he was racist. I don't think in October 1st he decided, you know what? Let me be anti-Semite
That's
now.
how Ro did it.
No, it's not.
He just picked one.
We also have Kyrie Irving. coming out as
Also decided to
become a racist in October.
Followed Kanye's lead.
So we have two racists, and though obviously Kanye West surely far bigger than Kyrie.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
But they're both equally like pretty big.
They're very big.
And Kyrie's got his own demons in other ways. You know, flat Earth, anti-vax, all that.
But they were dominating the headlines
Yeah.
for that week and month. Elon Musk bought Twitter.
Finally. Well, he said he was going to buy it.
For
And then
$42 billion.
he pulled out of it intentionally as well before, and then they took him to court, and then they forced him to buy it for how much? Right?
$42 billion.
Fuck me.
That
is
That's money.
that's fuck off money. Like when you're so petty that you decide to drop $42 billion.
And then what he's done after buying it is also jokes.
Yeah, like letting go half of their staff.
Can't work from home.
Can't work from home.
But then a month later, doesn't pay for the offices, so you can't work from an office. Well,
But he is buying, beds for people to sleep in Twitter HQ. So
what a fucking generous man.
beautiful. You can work 100-hour weeks, but we'll give you a nice place to sleep. We also have Liz Truss resigning to blank space in the background. Taylor Swift, T-Swizzle song. That dominated headlines.
what song would you resign to, Ro?
I would just resign to Take Off, my favorite artist song,
Which is,
Walk It Like I Talk It.
Hey. All right.
I'll
Does Take Off have it just
I'll give you a
quietly?
pass on that.
Does Take Off have any of his own songs? Or
He's
he's
not-
just
he's-
part of
no,
it?
He
Is he a solo
does. He does.
artist? Oh, okay.
I have not claimed to be a Takeoff fan, so I can't name you one. You should know, but he does have songs on his own. New Metro Boomin album, there is a song with Takeoff alone.
Honestly, it's too sad to talk about. I still don't.
And we'll move on.
We went to Bali in October.
That was huge.
What a trip it was. First time we decided to live the Australian dream by going to Indonesia.
I still need to unwrap my Bintang singlet that I bought. Need to get that out of the cobwebs.
Yeah, you definitely need that before you
What were you going to say? I want to hear the end of that.
I'm not going to say what I was about to say.
No, we move
Yeah, I
on.
think we know what you're gonna say.
We move on.
Speaking of
No, not
assault.
speaking of.
No, that's good. That's actually a good segue. I'll allow that.
we have Jordan Poole getting punched by Draymond Green.
Funny thing about that was everyone backed Draymond in this scenario.
Did they?
Like the Warriors did.
Oh, right. I thought you meant like the general
No,
public.
not public.
Yeah, right.
Or just the Warriors. Oh,
Yeah, because
they're not sorry it happened. They're sorry it got leaked.
yeah, exactly. That was one of the most outrageous things I've seen in my life.
And they're like, he's suspended indefinitely. And then he came back like a week later.
And then we've never heard anything of it since.
Exactly.
It's absolutely massive month in October. But now we move to the podium places. In the number 3 spot, we have January. Now, why January, you say? We've got Wordle.
Craze has swept the world.
It's literally got bought out and sits in the New York Times as one of the
Every morning,
most popular games.
you laugh, Sen, but every morning in our group chat, we were all sending through our Wordle solutions.
We go through our screenshots in January.
It just dominated.
1,000 photos, dare I
A
suggest.
lot of green and yellow squares.
What was your best Wordle attempt?
I honestly couldn't.
I think I got like 1 in 2.
You got a 2.
Yeah. Luck, obviously. I'm not going to claim
Of course. But
techers, but
I don't think I ever got a 2. Probably 3.
yeah, I didn't get a 2 either. But
I think my proud thing about it was consistency. I was always able to like get it within like 3 or 4.
yeah,
Yeah,
three.
yeah.
Three is when you know you're good. 4 is par.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm
5 is shameful.
Yeah.
fair enough.
But that was mad. Like again, that was the number 1 most searched term on Google.
Yes, it was.
Wordle was in the news all the time. Literally, there were like blogs and podcasts popping up specifically
Podcast on Wordle.
to talk about
That's
how
niche.
they figured out the days. Like people were blowing up on TikTok just by doing lives of them solving Wordles. Like it was unbelievable. The craze that swept the world. Closer to home, we have the Australian Open and that whole saga with Novak Djokovic. Does someone want to run us through that?
Well, I think it was very straightforward. You know, we have a simple rule to get to Australia. You got to be vaccinated. And old Novax, refused to get the jab.
Novak.
And so they approved his visa to come. He got an exemption.
He lied on the
He lied.
forms.
So he came here. They got him into one of those rooms at Melbourne Airport.
They see on border security
They were looking at, the produce he had in his bag.
his declaration form.
And then they're like, nope. I think Scott Morrison got involved. The immigration minister got involved. And they're all like, nope, mate, you got to go back to Serbia. Fuck off.
And then they reversed that decision and said he can get back in And they reversed it again.
And then they reversed it again.
Roller coaster.
It was a
Absolute roller coaster. But in the end, the decision was made. The correct decision, if you ask me. And Novak was not allowed to participate. But apparently he'll be here for
I think he's allowed this year, so what the fuck was
So
the
who
point?
knows? Also in this Australian Open, Rafa beat the record for the most Grand Slams.
Hurts, dude.
That was a sad moment.
I like Rafael Nadal, but
A good final. I do remember watching it.
Who
Fucking
played?
went for like him versus the the other guy. So it was a high, he was brave. He put on a good fight. He'll be well remembered in history. That guy, but
he will. We move to the top 2 places.
Wow. What do we have left? What are the 2 months we have left?
We have May and we have March.
Head to head.
In second place, we have May. Why, you ask? We've got Depp versus Heard.
Huge.
That whole saga. We've got Anthony Albanese winning the election
close to home.
in Australia.
Very close to home.
I moved out.
Literally home.
And Haaland signs for Man City.
Oh my God.
Rip.
That I might say is the biggest
That
event of the
was
month.
that was a big saga. That went for maybe about a year. Who's he going to sign for? Who's he going to go to? Real Madrid was up there.
Now,
Man United, Man City.
The league is single-handedly ruined.
It's done. It's
Imagine
finished.
watching a league and knowing who's going to win. You walk in, it's like, it's inevitability.
This man's dad dicking the Premier League.
What about Depp versus Heard? That
I've never watched,
US courtrooms in general.
Exactly, until May this year. When literally, I swear, you could scroll for 20 minutes on TikTok and every single video, at least on my feed, was literally, it was the same shit as well. It was like the same clips from that day's proceedings of the court. And it was just basically either Depp, giving testimonies or his lawyer absolutely tearing Amber Heard's lawyers or Amber Heard a new one.
But then you also
Highly entertaining
get the
stuff.
spin-offs as well of is Johnny Depp dating his lawyer? Is,
That's right.
Amber Heard dating her lawyer. all that sort of
conspiracies.
gear. Mate, it was news stories deluxe.
I didn't realize a lawsuit or like a trial could be that public. I thought this shit was like all behind closed doors and, you only see like the courtroom sketches, you only see that. I don't know if they had fucking 4K cameras in there.
High-profile names, my friend.
Everything was recorded. Anthony Albanese wins the election, destroys the Liberal stronghold for the last couple of years.
10 years. Ro.
Yeah, sorry.
Commiserations to
a man, of your fundamental traditional values of the Opus Dei.
what is that?
That's the what's it called again? The
Sometimes Sen just says words and I just can't agree.
But you have no idea what they
I don't know what
the
they mean.
Pentecostal brothers. Your people, the hands up, praise Jesus people.
Yeah.
Scott Morrison, your mate.
Go on, but I didn't. What's Opus Dei?
It's I think it's a type of Christianity.
It doesn't
mate.
matter. But look,
You're one of his biggest donors, weren't you? You out there campaigning?
We've seen the tax return.
Yeah.
I've done you send, every year around election time. I'm not really big into politics, to be completely honest. So what I do is sends me a political compass
Oh, that's right.
from the ABC.
That was good.
I fill in what I believe on certain issues, such as immigration,
Why was that the first one you went to?
refugees,
Jesus.
such as economic policy, and it'll spit out
Gay marriage.
Oh, that's already done. That was on this year.
Yeah, that's good. Oh,
They
Good for you.
so they
against his best wishes.
stop painting his picture, and it spits out who
Where
you should
you
vote for
yes.
or where you stand, and then I take that. I walk through the election day, primary schools, which is where it's held. People hand me a flyer. Political compass goes out the window.
I think you guys say you just show them your political compass.
No, mate.
This.
I just get them to do a form.
Yeah.
You just fill it out.
Which one of you aligns with this?
No, they got some good flyers, and I vote, and that was huge.
Getting ScoMo out was a huge part.
Yeah, no one really likes ScoMo, to be honest. Albanese, like I said this last week, it ain't easy under Albanese. It's a great slogan. I love Anthony Albanese, but I thought that smear campaign was quite well run from the Liberal side. But yeah, absolutely massive. And in first place, we've got March. Now, why March? Sen said the biggest headline this year was Queen Elizabeth. I think Russia versus Ukraine probably takes the cake.
Everything happened about that in March, and all the bans happened, all the oil bans, FIFA bans, they banned certain players or teams. All that happened in March.
Memes were great, but
You and Kush were loving the memes.
Ukraine versus Russia.
At the prospect of World War III,
Mate,
you and Kush were enjoying the memes.
Me and Migs were fearing for conscription. We thought we got to prepare.
We're getting battle ready, and these two were sitting on their ass scrolling through memes.
Mate, me and Kush were getting ready to like maim ourselves to say we're too crippled to go to war.
I mean, to be fair, if I was asked, like, if they try to conscript me, I would be making every excuse possible to get out.
Exactly.
Conscientious objector, like all this.
But
sort
you'd
of
be go
stuff.
fighting for Russia, wouldn't you?
I'm not going to agree with that. Although this is the problem, right? Like on the podcast, like it just feels like I should agree with everything. So sometimes just throws out stuff, and without even thinking, I was
You
like,
just say,
But then we also have Chris Rock getting
Mate.
absolutely bitch slapped.
By big old Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Slap heard around the world, I believe is what they described it as. I remember that day when it happened. Again, the memes were fresh off the press.
Group chats that weren't even around that were dead.
popping off. But I remember, like, I've never I saw that headline again. I saw another push notification, and it just said, and it said Will Smith slaps Chris Rock live at the Oscars. I'm like, is this real? Is someone taking the pic? Like, it's such an unbelievable headline where you literally have to see it to believe it.
We have Shane Warne, the king himself, passing away. Now,
Tragic.
Unlike Takeoff, this actually did hurt.
Yeah,
Right.
this one got me in the feels.
The sound of summer, the greatest leg spinner of all time, the greatest bowler of all time, some would
Asterisk.
suggest, passes away. And all of Australia mourned. All of England mourned. We had celebrities from all over the world.
Even American celebrities were getting around it. It was
It was a sad day.
very sad day.
That month also, we had Neil Kolhatkar on our podcast.
That's an absolute roller coaster of emotions, I have to say there. To go from Shane Warne's death to
Absolute lows to absolute highs.
It was unbelievable.
A
Neil
white whale.
Kolhatkar, a childhood hero for many of us.
Absolutely.
With his
I think
YouTube
that's
videos.
Someone that we've
Came on-
been chasing for a while as well.
Of course. Came on our podcast. Not only that, approached us
That was
at his show. Saying, you guys Critical Banter?
he recognized us.
It was Streetcar before Streetcar. It
Damn, bro.
was great.
Damn.
I think Shrika would be happy with that little comparison to Neil Kolhatkar there.
Not only that, in more local news, our friend broke up with his girlfriend and we blocked her. on
We
Instagram.
absolutely blocked her on Instagram. We are team him.
Not gonna
Don't know if
box
I can divulge the guppy, but we stand with our mate. And,
Absolutely.
We do.
No, not even a second hesitation there. I blocked her immediately.
I think the final straw for Senny was a passive aggressive post by her.
What was it? I was
Some-
actually thinking about it. and I
Something
couldn't-
like on to better things or something like that was the caption.
Yes.
Something like that. Something like that.
Oh, I think it was like a new start or something like that.
No need.
You got rid of her.
Saka in the bin.
And that, my friends, is the TCB recap of 2022.
Righty, last outro of the year, boys. Oh, well, boy. I don't know where the other one went. Just me and you, mate. But it's been a good year.
It's been an unbelievable year.
But here's to many more bigger and better things in 2023.
Absolutely.
But if you do want to go back and check out the great things we've done this year, Manu, where can people find us?
You can find a whole year's worth, a whole catalog's worth on your favorite podcast app. iTunes, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anything you name it, we are there. YouTube, there are a wide range of our episodes as well as our segments on YouTube, so you can go find it there. Critical Banter Shorts, actually. So if you are in the mood for a little snippet of us, you can find that on YouTube as well at Critical Banter Shorts. With all that, we wish you guys a happy new year, and we will see you in 2023.